to the republic under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, number 2, open public forum. For anybody that's not on the agenda that wishes to speak. Otherwise, we'll move on to number 3, approval of the amended agenda. I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Jamie makes a motion, I need a second.
I'll second that.
Shannon seconds it, any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries. Number 4, consent agenda. Recommendation to approve the consent agenda as presented. I need a motion. Gary makes a motion, I need a second.
I'll second.
Jamie seconds it, any discussion on it? Otherwise, hold on.
Oh, I would just like to make a correction to the minutes. It says that I was absent. I was not absent.
Oh.
Yeah, it was for me, yeah. It was. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Got that? Okay. Any other discussion on it? Otherwise, with that correction, everybody say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Number 5, Public Works Director John Stevie. And no Brian Lynch tonight.
I'll give his update.
All right.
This thing on?
Is it on the white or the little slash?
The dash.
Yeah.
All right. So I was informed today that Mark Hannon would like to help plow snow when we need somebody. It's not that we're going to use them every time, but it's nice to have extra bodies when we need them. So if other people can't make it, so we'd like to get approval to hire Mark Hannon as a part-time snowplow driver.
All right. Recommendation to approve the hiring of Mark Hannon as a snowplow driver at a wage of $16.61 per hour. Can I get a motion on that?
I'll make the motion.
Doug makes a motion, how about a second?
I'll second.
Jamie seconds it, any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against, motion carries.
That's pretty much all I have from Public Works. I'll do the pilot study thing with the water treatment plant update and Brian's thing. But today I was out plowing with the guys, and there is a lot of snow. There's occasionally a mailbox popping off from the windrow from the snow. If that is a problem in front of your house, I ask that you blow your mailbox, around your mailbox, create room for the snowplow to push more snow. It's probably not done snowing for the year. There's going to be a lot more. Also, I noticed a lot of fire hydrants were buried. All you could see was the pole coming up. So if you have a fire hydrant in your yard, it is very beneficial to you to keep it cleaned out. Seconds and minutes can mean a lot to a house fire, and the fire department would appreciate it if they could hook right up to it and not have to shovel away before they get to it. But, there's a lot of hills, a lot of snow piles in town, especially on cul-de-sacs. We've been busy, and until it slows down a bit, we will go out and we'll haul out much of that snow. For now, it is what it is, but hopefully by the end of this week or for sure early next week, we got a lot of it hauled out. So until then, you will see piles. I know I've had a lot of calls and emails on different piles in people's yards, safety issues, thinking it's going to wreck something, but it's probably not going to wreck anything. It's it's just snow on top of frozen ground. But we will be out hauling some of that stuff out once we get caught up. So bear with us. We don't like it as much as they don't. So and then Brian's, I don't really know what he had for the Alexander Park update, but the water treatment update, we got comments back from the Department of Health. Ryan from Stantec is working with AdEdge, who's doing the pilot study. They're configuring the different things to meet the Department of Health's needs and what they're asking. It was some minor stuff, but nonetheless, it's changes to what they had planned initially. So they're working together on that. Hopefully, we get that rolling pretty quick. So, other than that, that's pretty much it.
All right. Any questions for John? Otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Number 7, Police Department report. Chief Bloom.
Mr. Mayor, Council, good evening.
Jason.
Just a couple, January monthly reports. For Cold Spring, we had 333 total incidents with 23 medicals. 13 suspicious activities, 138 traffic stops with 158 warnings and 26 violations. And in those traffic stops, we had 8 narcotics violations, a felony warrant arrest, 1 DWI, and then 8 other alcohol violations, and then 159 miscellaneous calls for service. In Richmond, we had 118 total incidents for the month, 9 medicals, 4 suspicious activities, 56 traffic stops with 58 warnings and 14 violations. And in those traffic stops, we had 2 felony warrants and then 49 miscellaneous calls for service. So even with the cold, we're getting out there and we're still busy. Stearns County is putting out information to make everybody aware that text to 911 is available. It's been available since I think the end of 2017, but it was being answered by Mille Lacs County and then kind of dispersed from there. They were answering for kind of a lot of the areas in central Minnesota. Stearns County is now able to take those calls on their own and respond to them. They still want people to call if they're able to, but if they're not, texting, they don't get specific addresses like you would if you pick up your home line and call 911. So you need to give a specific address, what the situation is, and as much information as you're possibly able to give, but it is an option, so I just want to get that out there to people. Winter parking reminder. I don't know if anybody was really expecting to get this much snow, and I think it's going to continue. Just a reminder to everybody, if there is measurable snow out there, or plowable snow out there, to make sure they're getting off-street or finding off-street parking so the plows can get through and clean everything up, and it just makes everybody's job easier to get things opened up again. So
Has that been doing pretty good?
yes and no. Some people seem to take longer to learn than others. It kind of seems to be the same repeat people that have issues with it, but overall I think it's been pretty good.
So, okay.
I think as we get more snow, it's more on the front of their mind that they need to make sure to get off street. So it has been getting better as the year goes on.
Okay.
And then another thing, we had the senior center invited us up for a law enforcement appreciation day, along with the city administrators from both Cold Spring and Richmond. So we had a nice lunch with them. And they said it was one of their better turnouts in quite a while. So just want to say thank you to them for inviting us up there, and it was a good day for all of us. Then just a couple other things. We have canine training. Just want to say thank you to the school. They're allowing us to use the building. We have our certification trials coming up, so we're doing some mock certifications. So there are going to be probably 6 to 10 squad cars up at the school tomorrow night. It's training, it's expected. There's nothing going on at the school. Just try and put it out there so people are aware. So they may see squads up there. And then also, it's been going on lately that frauds have been going on forever, but we've had calls lately that it's coming up as the police phone number, soliciting funds, that type of thing. We are not asking for any funds. We're not doing any fundraisers. If they call and are asking for that type of information, it's not us, it's a fraud. Do not give out any information. So that's all I have.
Any questions for the chief? Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Number 8, city administrator.
First one, we received 5 applicants for the fire department position, and they've all come back with their background, and the chief would like to interview all of them. And normally, we used to ask the townships to sit in on the interview panel, but now with the new contract, they don't have to. And I think that used to give us a nice odd number for interview panel. So we have the chief set, Captain Lovers, because the deputy chief Mueller has a conflict of interest, and me, and so the chief would like 2 council members, and he'd like to do it either Monday the 3rd or Monday the 4th of March for interviews and skills on the 6th, or interview on the 6th and skills on the 7th. And so we'd like to see if 2 of you would want to volunteer to sit in on those panels and training.
I would. You will? Okay, you and Doug? Sure. Okay.
Do you want to do, is the Monday-Wednesday combination good for you? That's the first weekend of the month, so there's no evening meetings here. 6th, yeah. That works, okay.
Okay, I'll read the recommendation. Recommendation to to approve appointing council members Doug Schmitz and Gary Tyson, the city administrator, fire chief, Captain Lubbers, to sit on the hiring committee for the hiring of 2 firefighters. I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Jamie makes a motion, I need a second.
I'll second that.
Shannon seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
We don't yet, I'm assuming probably, yeah, I'll sit down with Dan to plan. I know he wants to do safety, maybe looking at the parking lot out here, because the one out there for ladder work and everything is so icy that by March, hopefully, this will be a little drier. So I'll work with him and then get that out to you. Next, safety training. The League of Minnesota Cities is putting on their annual safety and loss control workshops in St. Cloud on April 23rd. 3 members of the police department would like to attend, and I'd like to attend. There's not as much public work stuff this year on the agenda, so he's not interested in attending this year. And so I just need approval from you to allow the 4 of us to attend.
Recommendation to approve attendance at the 2019 Safety and Loss Control Workshop by the City Administrator, Police Chief Sergeant Spoden, and Officer Reverman. I need a motion on that. Gary makes a motion, I'll a second. Shannon seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
The Chamber Community Showcase is set for April 16th this year. The police and fire are going to work together and host one table,
Okay.
provided you approve that, and EDA and city would be another table. Several of the members at EDA last night said they were available to help with scheduling and manning the table. And I'll send out a sign-up sheet to city council members and EDA to kind of balance it. Reva Van Fleet, the EDA consultant, will be there as well. So she and I will schedule ourselves. So it's going to be there and then work you all in if you're interested.
They're all morning.
So I just need approval for those
Okay.
registration forms.
Recommendation to approve registering the city and EDA for the community showcase and approve police and fire participation either jointly or individually. I need a motion on that. Shannon makes a motion. Doug seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries.
Finally, the audit schedule. The auditors are going to be here the week of March 25th through the 29th, and they, provided everything goes like it always does, they will be presenting at the May 14th council meeting their findings. But one thing, every year they interview me, a council member, and finance director. It's called a fraud interview to make sure that none of us believe there's any type of fraud going on. So I do need someone, either the mayor or a council member, anytime on the 25th, that first day. They'll be here, and he would interview whomever. So I just need to know if someone's available, or we can figure it out in March. So, but I wanted it on your radar that they'll be, and it can be whatever time works for whoever is the person volunteering or appointed to it.
I'm sure one of us will get there.
Yep. I'll make a reminder the week
All right.
in March. And finally, next week we're going, all of us, down to the legislative day. I do have Jeff House schedule's pretty tight that day, but we are gonna take him out of committee and meet with him for a little bit at 1:30, and we'll meet with Lisa at 2:30. Lisa DeMuth. And then she's on a panel before that, so in her office building, so we can go listen to the panel she's sitting on and then talk with her afterwards. So we should be back. I think if we don't have much scheduled after that, we should be back between 4 and 5, depending on traffic and weather.
Are we meeting here and what time?
Yeah, why don't we meet here? I don't remember what time of registration. I think it's 9, between 8:30 and 9. So we usually meet here about 7, 6:30, 7. I'll verify that start time for registration, and send out an email.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Number 9, list of bills and additions, recommendation to review and accept payment of the accounts payable according to the list and supplemental list presented by city staff. I need a motion.
Move it.
Go ahead, Shannon.
I'll make a motion.
Shannon makes a motion.
I'll second.
Jamie seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. General questions and comments from city council. Jamie,
Nothing for me.
Doug, Shannon,
That's it.
and nothing from me. Number 11, motion to adjourn. I need a motion. Gary makes a motion. How about a second?
Second.
Doug seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Thank you very much.